Good morning, trading family. Thursday. So we got some news coming out here at 8:30. If you watch that pre-market game plan, remember we're still in a range. All right, we are still range bound. You know, we're kind of up, down, up, down, up, down. Yesterday we had that break. Right, came right to our area. From if you look to the left. We got news coming out today. Earnings, you know, they kicked off yesterday. Tesla didn't do so hot. Right now we're in this strong bullish uptrend. See if we can't get filled for a buy to the upside.
Order filled.
See what our parameters are here. Parameter set for 20 ticks. Each tick pays you $5 on the NQ. 4 ticks would make $1. See if we can get filled again right down here. Move our stop losses just below this other candle. Alright, we're looking to come right back up into this area. Unless we're going to make lower lows, right? And continue down.
Order filled.
There's one. Let's see if we can't get that other. Alright, we're just scalping individual candles right now. Alright, but we're starting to see a lot of wicks, so this could... Let's bring this down right to there, see if we can get that one filled. Right, when we start to see a lot of wicks on top, right, we should be looking for that move lower. Let's see if this starts to form the right side of the roof for a downward move. If you don't know the terminology we're using, join us on Discord. We teach live from 8:30 to 9:30, Monday through Friday. We get this move right up into that area. We're going to go ahead and try and short it right back down. There we go.
Order filled.
And I added another one there. I'm going to move my take profit just a little bit higher, since we had that kind of hesitation right in this area.
Order filled.
There we go. Come on, fill it. Alright, scalping individual candles, guys. When you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for, it's relatively easy. We're not teaching that in the group yet, but we will be teaching it. Alright, so let's see if we can get this right back up into that area. Right, there we go. We're filled again. Right, major resistance to the left. So what are we looking for? We're looking for price to come back down at least to retest, right? Come back down at least to retest. Alright, so we got the resistance overhead. We're looking for that pullback, right, to retest to continue this move higher. I'm going to go ahead and sell another one right here. I want to move all these stops above the high, just above the high of that candle. Alright, because I want to come back and take out anybody who may have been short for that move back lower here, right? If people didn't sell, if they got greedy and they didn't take profit and they're still holding it, alright, they're going to want to come out and stop them right back out.
Order filled.
And go ahead and place another order right up top here. Right there. See, if we come back up, all right. What I'm doing is I'm capitalizing for this move back down, right? If we come back up to this area, I have orders waiting, right, for that quick scalp to the downside. Okay? That's all we're doing right now. All right? Our profit right now.
Order filled.
All right?
Order filled.
And there we go. So now, let's put an order right here to sell. All right, all this is rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. Okay? Huh, wonder why this didn't get... There we go, that got filled. Let's see if we can get this one filled. Right now, what I'm looking at is... Okay, we got like this little, the little roof, okay? The roof. And we're looking for this move back to this area. Okay? Let's shrink this down. And let's get a trend line right there. Open it back up. Ah, well, I guess.
Order filled.
Alright, we got filled on everything so far, guys. Alright, and again, this is just pure scalping. Okay? Pure scalping. There's our trend line. Alright, and it's just like the one that I drew. I just started it right over here. Let's cancel all. Alright, cancel all. Notice I want you guys keeping an eye on, alright, your RSI. Hey, good morning. For some reason, I don't see my chat option here, so... But I can hear you if you're on. We just scalped $540 right in this area. I didn't trade it at all. I wanted to wait today to go live. Let's see. Show fill. So we just scalped that right in this area. Right, we were looking for the retest right back down to this area. Right, look at the tall wicks, okay? So we scalped our way back down. I wanted to scalp again, but I was looking up top here at who was here. So welcome. Now when we talk about this RSI and we show you guys how to correctly use it, remember, that's why we teach you guys price action trading, right? Because even though the RSI is one of the indicators that we use, all right, it's still a lagging indicator. Remember, any type of indicator or accessory or tool is just a complement to your knowledge of reading price action, okay? These are all lagging indicators. So you always want to keep that in the back of your mind, right? We only use the RSI, the average true range, for our target prices, the 20, the 200, and the VWAP. That's all you need to be a consistently profitable trader. You got to eliminate the rest of the noise that's out there. Alright, so now we're getting all these wicks down here towards the bottom. But I'd still like to see a touch of this trend line. I'm going to go ahead and put a buy order right here. Remember, we don't want to chase it, right? When you chase it, you're risking pretty much your entire reward, right? If you chase it here, right, now it has to come right back up to here, right? But we still have some space below us, okay? We still have some space, and if you miss one trade and you know how to scalp, I mean, you have every single bar you can scalp, right? So we just did $540 in 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes. All right, we made somebody's weekly paycheck in 8 minutes. And the way that I scalp, okay, I never scalp a stale bar. This is now a stale bar. It's been open for more than a minute. All right, but I'm still looking for this pullback. All right, I'm looking to capitalize on that pullback. Remember, every bar opens, it likes to come up, come back down, come back up, come down. All right, and I'm capitalizing on that initial movement. All right, a little bit more to go. Let's see if we can't get filled. Again, we're looking, we want to see this come back in this area. All right, so that's why I put my buy order down here. Okay, and potentially this candle could come all the way down here, right?
Order filled.
So there, we got filled. All right, now that that bar is kind of stale and it already made its move up, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop down below these bars. There we go. And now I'm going to buy one more.
Order filled.
I'm going to move both of my orders down because now we're looking at the range of the bars, okay? This bar kind of did its thing up top in this area. So you want to keep your profits, you know, relatively quick. You want quick in and outs on the scalps. You're not looking to get risky and trade huge. Okay, your risk to reward is excellent when you're scalping.
Order filled.
There we go. We got one filled. Let's see if we can't get that other one filled. Because now that we're down here, right, we're looking for this retracement. But with the same breath, all right, look at, all right, we made a lower high. All right, so now are we going to come see that lower low and head back down? Again, we have major news coming out here at 8:30. All right. So let's see if we kind of just break this or if we get that big bar boom right through. Not going to move my stop loss. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. Yeah, that bar is too stale now.
Order filled.
And we're not seeing that momentum we need to the upside. But we still took a profit on that trade. All right, I don't like scalping the bar too long. I'm looking for that initial opening of the bar to play that initial up-down movement. Once the bar kind of lingers there, right, we're on a 2-minute time frame. We're 2-minute chart traders, okay? We trade in a 2-minute time frame. Now, we do have other time frames open, right, and we'll use that for more information, okay? What I mean by that is notice the wicks, all right? Notice these wicks, okay? The wicks are very important, and these trades here are not the NQ. We were just trading the NQ. This is the MNQ. This is the we're trading the micro minis on our trading group because we're teaching new traders with a $500 account how to grow that and become consistently profitable. So these trades here are the 45.50, and we go live at 8:30 to trade with our group and to teach them. All right, so now we got that opening candle. All right, we're kind of a little bit late, but let's see if we can't get a buy. See if we could get a buy order, if we can pull back and fill. But now remember, on that 15-minute time chart, we're getting those wicks up top. Let's look at the 30, see if we got 30-minute prints yet. Yeah, so we're getting those wicks now on the top. So let's go ahead and cancel that order. I don't want to get that filled. Notice what else we see on this, right? We got that box top, okay? When you have your box tops and your box bottoms, you know, typically you're going to see that turnaround reversal. All right, is it 100% guaranteed? No. But if we go out to the hourly, all right, let's look at that hourly. I'll put it right there in that circle. What do you see up top there? All right, you got strong wicks on that hourly chart. All right, strong wicks. And I actually love this setup. Typically, this setup will end up looking like this. When you have that doji candle in the middle, a solid candle up, doji in the middle, you typically get a solid candle back to the downside. All right, so you want as much information as you possibly can. We're going to go ahead and sell that right there.
Order filled.
We're going to take away our stop loss because that candle was a big bar. A lot of times those rogue candles will pop up. Like these are typically liquidity candles. All right, so now we're up 660. I think we made $100 on that scalp. All right, but again, we're trading that momentum, that big push up. But we're getting close to that 8:30 time frame, guys. And that's the time, you know, I tell my new traders, and I'm changing it from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. But 5 minutes and before and 5 minutes after the news that we got coming up today, you want to be out of the market, all right? You don't want to be in the market at all. And we have 13 minutes till go time, all right? This is going to move the markets, all right? So within that time frame, you know, lately I've been seeing a lot, the markets are making those big moves 10 minutes prior, right? Typically, it wouldn't make those moves until 5 minutes. I don't know what the deal is lately, but the markets are kind of doing a thing of their own. So really, you know, to take trades now that we just saw that big bar out of nowhere, just boom, rip up, you know, now I kind of, do I really want to be scalping this close to economic news coming out, right? Especially major economic news, because we're going to see a massive move in one direction. All right, typically I'll play that economic news. You know, you guys have seen me here before. We'll make $9,000, $10,000 in a matter of 30 seconds, right? Sometimes if the news is good, it'll drop and it'll pop, and vice versa. Sometimes the news is excellent and it rips up, traps in all those longs, and then they take everybody's money. All right, so you got to be very careful. You really got to understand the market and know how to play their games. That's what's going to separate you from everybody else. We don't listen to the actual news, right? We're not listening to CNBC or MSNBC and all that, because the news is part of the market, all right? It's there to put a bias in your head. How many times have you heard the news come out and they say, you know, Wall Street's looking hot, we're set to open green today, right? And catch those gains, and all day the market does this, right? And what's everybody doing? They're buying every dip because of what the news told them, right? We don't care what the news is here. We care how the market reacts to the news, all right? And if something came out, as an example, let's say Russia just launched a nuclear missile, all right? By the time mainstream media, by the time you got that news, even though it would be within a matter of seconds, the market is programmed to pick up that news. So what would happen immediately when the market heard that keyword, it would just sell off. It's automatically programmed to make decisions like that. So, you know, the news could come out, but you're not going to get it before the move happened, right? You might be able to catch the after effect, but you're not going to catch the initial effect because it's programmed in the market. So anyhow, here we got that. I like to call these high and tight, right? Like mini flagpoles. And even though we have all this information on the higher time frames and all these big wicks, right? Typically when you see this type of a formation, it likes to rip up. All right, so is it preparing for that? You know, does the market already know the news? What are we going to do here? I'll stay on here a little bit past 8:30 so we could see what it does. So yeah, this trading here was from this morning, earlier. All this is just from right now. And if you have your microphone on, I'm not sure who you are, and you can talk, man. I'm here if you want to ask anything. Cancel that order.
So how much is your contracts for MNQ and NQ?
How much do you make? Or
No. How much does it cost?
You have to have, to trade the MNQ, you have to have $100 in your account. We recommend
Yeah,
everybody
but how
start.
much is each contract?
Oh, you're gonna pay $1.44 to get in and out. It's total. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's commission. I'm
right.
saying how much is it? Like my MES is $50 per contract. My ES is $500 per contract.
Okay, so this one's $100, and the NQ is 500, and the MNQ is 100.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and your your MS should only be 250, right? If I
For what?
I know your MES is $50 per contract, but
Yeah, it is.
I think your ES is only 250, right? Not 500.
No, it's 500.
That's odd. What broker are you on?
Ninja Trader.
Okay, yeah, I know everybody raised their fees not too long ago because the MNQ, when I was first looking into this, was only $50 a contract, and they went up to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Tradeovate, this is a platform we're using. The reason I didn't go with Ninja Trader because we're trying to teach new traders and people that don't have that $25,000 to trade the penny stocks and all those markets, the equities market.
Yeah, you gotta
Ninja Trader
buy the
wanted that
platform.
$1,200 to buy their platform, and most people aren't going to have that. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, did you change your picture?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, before I always
It's
had
still
that chat.
Brian.
I always had that chat box open, and I don't know where it went, so I couldn't see the pictures. But now I don't.
Nope, it's still Brian. Be custom.
All right, cool.
I got you a hat at the golf course yesterday too.
What's that?
I got you a hat at the golf course yesterday.
No way.
Yeah, I'll mail it to you.
Oh man, that's awesome. Now, see, notice what I said about this pattern, right? When you see like this, I call these mini flagpoles. But when I just drew that
Yeah.
out, remember I just said they like to just pop up and rip. So remember that pattern, no matter where you see it. And like I said,
Yes.
that's counterproductive to what we saw on those higher time frames, right? All those wicks should mean we get that move down. But again, we're so close to that economic data right now. It's like, but yeah, these patterns, whenever I see those, I don't care, where we are in the chart, right? I don't care if we're making lower lows like we see here. That pattern, man, I don't know what it is about it. And I started noticing that probably 2.5 years ago. It was just that specific pattern, right? And I would always mark it off. And now it's just like, night and day. Whenever I see that, I don't care if I'm short bias at the current moment, I go long, whether I want to or not, and I don't think I've ever lost on that pattern, ever.
It's got that little W forming too.
Right here?
No, to the left.
Oh,
The
this
left
right
is
here?
The left down. Yep.
Yeah, I got you, yep. So now, that's,
It's not a clean W, but it's a little bit of a W.
and you know how to do the measured move on that, right?
Yeah, you just grab the length of the one leg, and that'll be the
Right.
size of the rep.
Good, man. Glad to hear
I'm a professional.
it.
No, I'm not. I suck.
Hey, you got some knowledge, which I love that, You got knowledge, right? 'Cause-
I'm extremely knowledgeable. I have a time on the screens, and this is one of my biggest hobbies in life. It's I go through all the stages. I've never been 100% consistent for like a year, every day or every week. But we're getting there. We're 3 years in.
well,
We still make money.
that's awesome, though, and I really would love to help you just become consistently profitable, right? But I don't know if you
I'm
heard.
here.
I don't know if you heard me yesterday, but what I told them in my group is that, a lot of traders keep journals. I don't keep journals. I use OBS and I record everything, right? But I even do that when I'm trading my own account. And then when I save it, I'll save it either as a win or a loss, right? A winning day, or even if I had a loss if I had 2 losses with 5 wins, right? I'll still write that down as a loss just so I know where my losses are. So then I can go back and actually watch the replay as opposed to a journal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just think that's much better, especially, the people that are going to come with me. I'd like to be able to see their replay, so I could tell them exactly, what they did wrong, what they could improve on, You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just having a
Yeah. So
journal.
how come you don't stay on longer in the morning?
Because right now, I'm building that boot camp.
Yeah.
So once the boot camp's up and done and we start advertising and everything, I'm probably just going to be live trading from like 3 in the morning all the way till 10:30. I'll be live that whole time. Because, eventually
Okay.
I would imagine we're going to have people from other countries in here. I actually want to target over in South Africa. South Africa is becoming like a hotspot for trading. But
That's interesting.
yeah, it really is, man. I was just watching a documentary on it the other day. But again, I never stop. Like when I'm not doing this, I'm constantly scrolling through media and stuff like that. Again, this
Yeah.
is my hobby. This is what I do. This is what I love. And it just,
Yeah, I told you I do this today at work. I work at a golf course and I trade all day.
yeah. So
It's
yeah,
really
so
hilarious.
I was
I don't even
actually,
know why. I don't even know how I get paid.
yeah, right.
But what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, I know a couple. I have two close friends that run two pretty big groups. So if you advertise right and do your thing and you're successful, you can grow this group pretty quick, man.
Well, that's the thing that separates me from them, right? I really want to do this to help people. I don't need anybody's money. I don't want to charge them. I'm thinking somewhere between maybe $30, $40 for the course, and maybe $20 a month to trade live with us and get, live education. But I'm not going to be
Yeah,
asking
that's
$5,000, $10,000, $3,000. I'm not going to be asking
Well,
$300
you'll
bucks
get
a month.
two people to buy that, I'd much rather go with the masses for 30. And you're helping people that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't need to make that kind of money. I don't want that kind of money, right? I always watch like documentaries on the drug lords and stuff, and I'm like, why are they killing each other? They got trillions of dollars. What could they possibly do with that kind of money? But yeah, so I don't remember if you remember. I don't know what it was. Raging Bull. They got shut down by the SEC, and they had
Oh yeah.
$200 million. Of
Oh,
customer
yeah.
money. I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but like I said in that day too, I don't want people that don't want to learn and that are going to be that they're not, because I'm designing that boot camp to do all my teaching for you, right? And you're going to start in the boot camp, and I don't even want you coming live with me until you've went through the entire boot camp. You've been trading in your simulator account. You can come live, but I don't want you asking questions as a new member for 30 days on a live. You can email me or whatever. You know what I mean? But if you watch that 30-day boot camp, it's literally going to answer any question you will ever have. So when you come with us live, right, and I'll have a live like beginner group and a live trading group. You know what I mean? The beginner group, yeah, I'll be more prone to helping them out, but literally, that's why I'm taking so much time putting it together, because I don't want there to be any questions. I could just, if they ask a question, I'll say, refer back to day 7. Did you watch day 7? You know what I mean? So I just want
Sure do.
people that really want to learn and really want to do this, because if you don't have a passion for it, you're just going to be a gambler. If you don't want to know why you're losing, go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
No, I'm saying, yeah, you're right. It's but that you're gonna run into countless people that come in that are just looking for that, because trading is so accessible on your phone.
Yeah.
Right? It's brought in the gamblers from cards and sports and stuff like that.
Oh,
So you're gonna get the gamblers, man.
I know. I'm already ready for it, but that's why, I'm actually, if you notice in like day 1 and day 2, I'm trying to say things to get people not to come with me,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So here's the thing, man, is in the groups that I've been in, because my buddies own them, they leave themselves out. They're there for 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah.
They leave themselves.
But that's it. Everybody that comes here that's new, they just hears that news probably. We're at 9:29. But they just think because of the advertisements they see, they think they're going to be rich in a few weeks or a few months. And that's nothing could be further from the truth,
It's the biggest misconception in trading. It fucking Wall Street Bets and Reddit ruined it.
Oh, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying, but I want to be here for those that really want to learn. You know, I've had guys in our group that have been with some of those big guys, and they're like, man, I'm learning more from you than the 3 or 6 months I've been in their group, you know? And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of people out there that are selling. Like, I see these young kids on Facebook selling their groups, and I'm like, you're not even old enough to know how to trade properly, you know? I'm like, you're selling a course and you're 19.
That's the demo accounts they're showing. Who knows what they're doing?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't get the real ones in there, man. I'm a real one. I've been live for 3 straight years, working, using my hard-earned money to fund my accounts, and then I never really did too much simulation trading. I always live accounted it because the emotion isn't really there. I guess I would practice a little bit with sim, but I don't know. I feel like trading is so mental that if you're not dealing with money, you're not going to know how to deal with it when you're live. And so I always try to find this spot where it's not that I don't care about my money in the trade, but I just want to care about it just enough where I can handle it. I don't want to be so nervous that I can't hold the candle, but I don't want to not have it so big that I don't care where it goes. Like, I want to find that nice middle ground, which for me is usually like 2 MES contracts, where I'm moving 10 points a point.
And I hear you, man. And, you know, if you stick with us, I promise you, you're going to become so confident in your trades, you're not going to think about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the point you really need to get to be. Because, you know, there's people like in this area right here, you know, they're like, they don't buy, then they'll buy here, and then it pulls back, stops them out. You know what I mean? But what they're not seeing is the overall picture, right? The overall picture, your 20 period moving average is above the 200. You're getting a pullback towards it. So why would you stop yourself out? You know, or they'll be buying way up here. Now up here, you're away from the 20, you're away from the 200, right? So it's more about timing your entries, knowing what you're looking for. But I agree with you. Like, I was so against the simulation account for the longest time. But because, you know, the simulation account, unless you treat it like real money, that's why I don't want anybody coming with me trading more than 1 contract. Because if you get that in your head and you start playing games with the simulator, you're never going to be able to transition from the simulator to your real account. I want you to be so good on the simulator.
500 and your sim is 6 million. It's not going to work.
Right. And that's why I'm sticking to that 1 contract, $500. And only taking specific trades, because that's, like you just said, you know, the minute you're in a live trade with your money, in my opinion, that's when your trading career actually starts. You know, all the practice, all the training, it all goes away. When your live money is on that line, that's when your trading knowledge actually and career begins, you know?
And it's really funny to see how hard new traders are on themselves, and I was too.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, I'm like, listen, man, you are basically a freshman in medical school, and they let you perform surgery on people. You are going to kill a ton of people. You know, like,
I know.
You're going to murder a bunch of people, but hopefully after you've murdered 800 people, you'll start saving them.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I kind of looked at it, because everyone wants to be a good trader in a week. And, you know, I guess they're out there, but there's just so much to learn, so much you haven't seen. You know, there's so much you haven't seen on the charts, so much manipulation, so much different candles, so much everything.
And that's
I've been doing it for 3 years, and I'm really hoping that maybe you can show me the last couple little pieces of icing on the cake to really get it consistent.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, you know? I mean, I'm starting with, there's so many ways to trade that, you know, the ranges, but I'm teaching you the most profitable way first, you know? I want you to understand that part. And, you know, because basically, the markets do 2 things. They'll range, or they'll make the channels, you know? It's range and channels. You got a channel, you got a range. You got a channel, you know, outside of bigger channels. You know what I mean? So you have to look at the micros as well as the macros. You know what I'm saying? But
you have to. If you tunnel vision on the 1 minute forever, you'll always be a little lost.
Right, and I trade on the 2 minute, because the 1 minute chart with the range strategy that we teach, you'll get too many false breakouts, because you'll have that 1 minute chart where the first candle will break out of a range, the first 1 minute, right, and then you'll go buy, but then the second 1 minute candle pulls right back into it, and that's how you get these wicks in your ranges. So that's why the 2
Yeah.
minute time frame is what you really need to trade the ranges. But yeah,
Mhm.
but I've always used the 2 minute time frame anyway, just to eliminate the noise. Now, when I sell options on Apple, I'm basically doing that on the daily, the 4 hour, and the hourly chart. I don't use little
Yeah.
charts at all for that.
Yeah, all my big supply and demand zones where I'm looking for like real reversals and where banks are getting in and out, they're all on the 4 hour.
Yeah, the higher time frames is where you want to, always start your top down analysis. As far as being a day trader, like, what I want to teach people how to be successful at this and all this knowledge, the higher time frames, all that, I'm going to give them everything I have, They'll be able to take this and do whatever they want in life. I'm giving them the foundation. They could tweak it, adjust it, add to it, take away from it. They'll build their own style, But as long as they have that foundation, then they can take big trades. They could, go back to the equities market. Now, penny stocks are the only thing that don't really follow, what we're teaching here. Penny stocks, because they're not real companies, they're garbage companies that just come out with news. They rip up, they rip down. But the 20, the 200 are, very important in penny stock land, In penny stock land, you're looking kind of for these maneuvers, you know what I'm saying? Those little breakouts and...
Never once.
What's that?
I've never touched a penny stock. I've never even looked.
Oh, they can make you money, but you really have to know what you're doing. And under the PDT rule, you're just giving the market your money in penny stock land because, it might do a breakout here and then it will pull back. Well, now you just used a day trade, right? Do you want to waste another one, right? And then right after you get in, typically it'll rip up $12, So it's like,
Yep.
But like I said, we have this earnings, and just like I don't know, man. I just don't trust, much more of a sell-off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know
we
what
were talking about on Monday, man.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not feeling it. Right now we just broke that trend line, right? With earnings coming up. You know what I'm saying? Is October the end of the quarters for companies, or is it the beginning? I can't remember. I've been telling you, I've been up like 24/7 working on this thing.
Yeah, it's the start of the fourth.
All right, yeah. So when is quad witching week? We just had one, so that's not going to be for a while, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
So we don't really have much in the way, I mean, the earnings. But even with that news coming out now, are we going to sell off the rest of the day or what? But with that kind of news, that's not a very big sell-off right now. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. We missed on the jobs, and it didn't sell off at all.
So it's kind of like, that's even further, like we didn't get that, massive woo sell-off. You know what I mean?
Well, sell us off.
You broke up that whole time. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I said even on Thursday, the CPI numbers couldn't sell us off into the abyss.
Yeah, it's just nothing's really making sense in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Well, it's unprecedented times, man.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, for the people who are with me now, if you can learn to trade in this market, your profit potential is going to be so big when we get those good days. You know what I mean? When we get out of this area that we're in, I mean, when we break away from, well, let me go to the daily chart. When we can finally break away from this zone, I mean, we're having a lot of these zones. It's just the times that we're in, I mean, we're getting that complete garbage movement, but once the markets actually find a direction and start settling down, the ranged breakouts are going to be huge money earners, Trading the areas of liquidity, you're going to have big moves in those areas, and we'll be able to set our profit target, instead of trying to just capture $25 with one trade, we'll go for 100. You know what I mean? But that's just on the range strategy right now.
I don't want to bother you.
No, you're all right. I'm actually going to jump off because I'm supposed to be in the other group now, but I don't see anybody else here, so I'm probably just going to not even do that today, and I'm just going to work on the course. So I will see you tomorrow, brother.